Welcome to the Wrestling Replays. Cato here with the Smackdown Let's Talk About It segment because we have not discussed Smackdown so long. The scenery looks a little bit different and kind of the same because I'm actually shooting it from a different angle. NYG is going to be coming and we got to do AEW Dynamite and Rampage. We got to do SummerSlam tonight. So we got a lot of content, so I had to charge the batteries for the other camera. So this is how we're going to have to shoot it today. But let's talk about the landscape of SmackDown. Before we really get started about what's been happening, let's go ahead and run down the matches that took place this week on SmackDown. We had Bianca Belair defeat Carmella and Selena Vega. We had Otis defeat Montrez Ford. We had Rick Boogs and Shinsuke defeat Commander Aziz and Apollo Crews. That was pretty cool to see Rick Boogs finally, get in the ring on SmackDown. That was pretty dope. We got to see Tegan Knox and Chauncey Blackheart defeat the women's tag team champion. That was interesting. I think that's going to be a nice little build for what's going to happen soon. We got to see Jey Uso. He defeated Rey Mysterio Jr. I like what's going on there as well. And let me look at else. What we got? We got Baron Corbin defeated Kevin Owens via disqualification. That was the last match with Big E. And we can actually go ahead and get started there about the landscape of SmackDown and what's going on. Now, this Baron Corbin situation is kind of dead. To me, he's always been one of those guys that somehow end up in the front running. If he's king of the ring or winning a battle royal, he's always winning something, but he never really goes anywhere. So now with him, down on his luck, and we have Big E into the mix. He wants to steal the Money in the briefcase, which he's did, but I don't like Big E and Baron Corbin in this type of feud. Baron Corbin's washed up. He's at the bottom of the rope. He's helpless right now, right? Big E should be gaining momentum onto whatever champion he's going to challenge or cash in on, I should say. So, since he won Money in the Bank, I feel like there haven't been much build for Big E. And that's a letdown because Monday Night Raw could definitely use Big E. They need the entertainment value, and if you reunite the New Day, you know it's going to be entertaining. These guys can go on the mic, they could talk for you, they could wrestle their asses off. So that would be the perfect solution in my mind. But still, you need to build Big E to look like he's going to be a champion if he's going to be competing against one of these Universal Champions or the WWE Champion, either way. So hopefully Big E rolls off between him and Kevin Owens in a nice little feud because he did cost Kevin Owens a match against Baron Corbin. That would be pretty cool to see, and I think that would help build the right momentum he needs going forward. Bianca Belair, I like what's going on with the women's scene on SmackDown side of things. Even though I still believe that there should only be one women's title, there should only be one tag team title, and the women should be able to jump brands from Raw and SmackDown. Hell, you can even add NXT in the mix because they got some tremendous talent that could help right now, entertainment-wise, on the SmackDown and Raw brands. So, I think Bianca's doing a great job. Like, Sasha Banks came back at the right time. It looked like there was going to be no one else for Bianca to go against or challenge or defend her title against, I should say. And Bianca came back at the right time. I don't like the fact that she aligned herself with Selena Vega and she aligned herself with Carmella. I feel like it's kind of foreshadowing the fact that she is probably going to dethrone Bianca Belair at SummerSlam because of this help that she has. I wish they would have just used Bayley. I wish that friendship would have just rekindled, reunited, and they used Bayley to help her get over on Bianca Belair. At least that way, at least it's some history in the person she chose to go and resort and get this help from. But I like the momentum build up for Bianca Belair, but I think at SummerSlam it's going to be Sasha Banks time, man. The boss is back, baby. So, yeah, Bianca, I think your reign has come to an end, but this feud is going to continue. This is a very entertaining feud on the women's side, but if it was one division, imagine getting, your Sasha Banks, your Bianca Belairs, your Charlotte Flairs, your Rhea Ripleys, your Baileys, all these guys rolled into one. That would be even better for the landscape and, as a whole for the women scene. Now, as far as the tag team titles go in the women's scene, Natalya was hurt for a while. I thought she was going to be out a little longer than she was, and I was hoping they would do like maybe a 8-woman tag team. tournament, or maybe a 16-woman tag team tournament. That would have been really cool. And then you could let anyone compete. I don't care if it's like a 1-day contract that you sign people for, a 2-week contract, or whatever. But you could have let women compete and try to earn us the tag team titles, because they would have to forfeit. The champions would have to forfeit, but that didn't happen. We seen the return of Natalya and Tamina, and they end up losing to Chauncey Blackheart and Tegan Knox. A tag team which I like. Surprisingly, I really like that tag team actually. So, I don't know if that's foreshadowing what's going to happen soon, but I would really like to see Tamina, Natalya, and Naomi kind of form their own version of the bloodline with the women version. I mean, they would be dominant. You got Tamina and Nia Jax, who are, the bigger women in the women division, and Naomi, she's really good inside the ring by herself. So I think they would actually kind of work as a female version of the bloodline, and they would be able to jump brands, so they would be able to, kick it away with Roman and the Usos and come to Monday Night Raw and wreak havoc either way. So the landscape of WWE women as a whole, I just really feel like the brand split needs to, kind of come to an end, at least for certain titles. Definitely the women's division, because you could put together way better tag teams if it wasn't a brand split, and you could have way better competition and matches for the women's title. Hell, even if they ended up, getting like an intercont women's title or something like that, if you want to bring two belts into the fold, that would still be fine as long as there was no brand split. What else we got going on? Let me see. Oh, the Usos and Rey Mysterio and the Mysterios. I like what's happening. I think the Usos are going to retain their titles. That shouldn't be no problem. But I like what's going on with Dominic and Rey Mysterio. We might end up seeing a match between Dominic and Rey, or a situation where Dominic goes to get the guidance of someone else. It won't be a Paul Heyman or someone like that. So maybe he'll fall in line with another wrestler. I don't know who that would be, because I feel like Andrade would have been perfect, but he's gone now. It's not too many people he can learn from under the Lucha Libre style of wrestling from, other than his dad that's in WWE right now. But I would love to see Dominic and Ray kind of split and go their own ways. Or he like, look, I just want to be my own man. And maybe he goes to Monday Night Raw and kind of do his own thing. I think that would be pretty cool if they did something like that. But it looked like it's happening. It looks like that these two are going to go, no longer be a tag team. We're going to get that father and son feud. It's going to play out in front of the world. It's the same thing that happened with happened with Rey Mysterio and Aaliyah in front of the whole world. It was weird and awkward. At least we get to watch, father and son, and they can actually get in the ring and duke it out. So that would be pretty good. The Usos, it's not many tag teams on SmackDown, man, and that's the other problem. That's another division where I see we can have a where they could be able to jump brands. You should let tag teams, and I mean from NXT, from Monday Night Raw, and SmackDown, all be able to jump brands and actually go for the tag team titles. You'll have one true tag team champions. If you don't want NXT teams to go, that's fine. But at least Raw and SmackDown, we need to have. They need to be able to jump brands. We're just throwing people together and hoping that it works, hoping that they get over. I feel like just when the Dirty Dogs started to get over and started to kind of like get in some type of stride, they was giving up the titles. Now they're being used as pretty much like stepping stones for teams like Mysterio and Dominic to build momentum to go against guys like the Usos. But we got the Street Profits back. They're going against Chad Gable and Otis right now, which is actually a feud I like, and we'll get to that in a second. But my point is, it's not too many tag teams, man. We got about 3 on the SmackDown brand that's legit tag teams, and maybe about 2 or 3 on the Raw brand that's legit tag teams. I feel like it could be built out a little bit better, and for us to have 2 sets of titles and only about really 6 or 7 legit teams, what's the point of having 2 sets of titles? For all that, you should just have one and let teams continue to try to knock each other off, to fight for that number 1 contendership spot, to fight to see who's going to be able to go against these champions. That's how it should be. Now, as far as Chad Gable and the Alpha Academy, man, hey, I wasn't a fan at first. I kind of like what's going on. The fact that they put Montrez on the shelf, and then Montrez come back, be like, okay, he's going to get his revenge. And now he got that ass whoop again. So I like Otis in this this role that he's in right now, this heel road and cut off the beard and everything. I kind of like it now. It's growing on me. I wish he was about 6'3", to be honest, 6'4". He would truly remind me of Big Van Vader, but he's a powerhouse. He's a little shorter, but he still gets the job done, and he still makes everything he does look believable because he has that strength that everyone don't have. He has the strength of a big man, even though he's just a little bit shorter, so it works for him. And to be able to get over a team like the Street Profits, who's been very successful since coming up to the main roster, I mean, it's only going to put them on the map to go for tag team titles. Just right now, I don't see them going after the Usos, not being heel versus heel. So they're going to have to figure out something. And if they do get over the Street Profit, they do end up coming out on top of the Street Profit feud, they have to be the next in line because there's really no other tag teams for these guys to go and dominate anyway. So they're going to have to figure out a way to go ahead and lock a feud in between the Usos and the Alpha Academy. Now, if he was able to jump brands, they could easily go right over to Monday Night Raw and start beating up on the New Day or something like that. But just haven't happened yet, man. So hopefully somebody listening and they do what I say because I think that'll work a little bit better. What else we got to talk about? Man, let's go. Forget all that. Let's go and talk about John Cena and Roman Reigns. Cena came back at the perfect time. He came back at the perfect time. This was a situation where it looked like no one was going to be there for Roman Reigns to defend his title against. Kind of the same boat that Bianca Belair was in. He's beaten everyone that was at the top. And the only other person in my eyes who he could have went against was Seth Rollins. Perfect that him and Edge is now in that feud because it kind of helps Seth Rollins rebuild himself and rebrand himself and get him back to that Seth Rollins he was before this whole Messiah situation. When Seth Rollins was truly on top and he was really burning it down. That's the type of Seth Rollins that, I like to see. I think that's when he was personally his best version of Seth Rollins. But, so John Cena comes back at the right time. There's really no one else there for Roman Reigns to defend his title against. Finn Balor was in the picture for a second. They took him out. So, I don't know if it's going to be a situation where he challenged for Roman Reigns next. Or whoever wins the championship, he challenged for them next because he has a beef with either one. He has the rights to Roman Reigns because technically, sorry, my computer was going off, but because technically he was who was going to fight Roman Reigns at SummerSlam anyway, and he has a legit beef with John Cena because you took my spot at SummerSlam. So after all this is done, it's going to work out perfectly because Cena wins or loses, you have to deal with Finn Balor. Roman Reigns wins or loses, at some point you're going to have to deal with Finn Balor. So I like where that stands. Now, Seth Rollins and Edge, that feud is going to be awesome. If you've seen Smackdown, you know that Seth Rollins took Edge to a place, man, to a really dark place. He went back to that old brood situation, gave him a little bloodbath, man. It was pretty dope. Pretty dope, to be honest. I like that. I like the intensity that Edge brings to this rivalry. With Seth Rollins being the cocky, Rollins that he is right now, you need someone that's going to bring that intensity, and that's what Edge is bringing. So this feud is perfect. I don't know how long Edge is going to be with us. I didn't even try to look up his contract and see how many matches or how long he chose to stay this time. I feel like Rollins is going to go over. I feel like this is the boost that Rollins needs to get back to where he needs to be and now put his name in the hat to go after someone like Roman Reigns if, he continued to hold that title, or John Cena if he wins. So now we're going to build a great situation over on SmackDown because while Rollins is trying to get his shot and Finn Balor feel like, hey, I deserve my shot anyway, we could end up in a situation where we got Seth Rollins and Finn Balor feuding all the way into Survivor Series. That would be pretty dope. And then now one of them possibly wins the Royal Rumble or challenge for someone at the Royal Rumble. Who knows how they want to do it now. We still got Hell in a Cell coming up. Oh no, I think they moved it. I don't know. But it's just now you got so many top guys over there. You got Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Edge, and John Cena. I played John Cena. So you got Reigns, Cena, Edge, Ballard, and Rollins all mixing it up to try to see who is going to, walk out or end up on top and be the Universal Champion going forward. And that's how I feel like it should be with all the titles. But some titles you just can't do it. Monday Night Raw, you don't have enough people over there for Bobby Lashley to, really go down the pecking order. After Drew McIntyre, it's kind of it. AJ Styles would have been next, but they used him for the tag team championship scene. Randy Orton would have been next, but they put him in the tag team with Matt Riddle. Keith Lee would have been perfect, but they can't decide what they want to do with Keith Lee. You brought in Karrion Kross, but hell, Karrion Kross is now looking, a little mediocre or like he is surprised of the competition in Jeff Hardy. Granted, he did get to dominate him this week, how it should have been all along. So, they need help. So that's why Big E should go ahead and go to Monday Night Raw. But the SmackDown landscape, to me, has been one of the best landscapes in wrestling. SmackDown, AEW, and then NXT, for me, it gets the job done. Monday Night Raw, I'm a wrestling fan, so I'm going to watch it. I'm going to come and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to report on it. And I'm going to say what they need to do. It's ways to make it better. They got the talent over there. They just need to bring out some more of that creativity. SmackDown, you got the big names. You got Roman Reigns on a level that has elevated to the point that he's in God mode right now. Mic skills, in-ring skills, believability, is selling. Everything, wrestling, all around Roman Reigns is the complete package right now. He's exactly what you want. So with the stipulation of him leaving the WWE if you lose, it kind of like, man, it's no way that he could possibly lose this match. Now, I would love for the Usos to come and help him, and he wins, and that could possibly lead to either a rematch with John Cena later on. We could change the stipulation a little bit and possibly have him actually finally drop the Universal title. We'll get history made with John Cena being a 17-time WWE champion. That would be awesome to see. It's just so many different ways and directions that SmackDown could go. For now, I think Roman Reigns is going to hang on to that title. I think Rollins is going to get his win over Edge, and he's going to start to pursue that title. I think Big E, he's going to get into a little feud with Corbin, but he needs to dominate that feud and then move on to someone with more prestige on their name. And yeah, that's about it, man. Well, no, actually, I'm sorry. No, we got to talk about the Intercontinental title scene because that scene is getting a little dry. It's getting a little dry. Shinsuke managed to win the Intercontinental Championship. I like cut off, but it's alright. It's all good. So Shinsuke managed to win the Intercontinental Championship from Apollo Crews. I do like the title on Shinsuke, but now it's the fact of the competition factor. If Finn Balor's not going to be going after Roman Reigns next, I would love to see a feud between Shinsuke and Finn Balor. That would be awesome. If Big E is playing around like, yo, you buying your time, at least lock it up with somebody like Shinsuke in the meantime. Even if you lose the title, regain it, then losing again, that's fine because you're building momentum onto your road to be a world champion. Other than that, who else can I see? Of course, Apollo Crews is going to want his title back. Kevin Owens, he needs to go ahead and throw his name in the hat. He's too talented all around to just be there. To me, he needs to go ahead and separate himself from the pack. They gave him the stunner. They gave him, he has the time. He has the mic skills. He's getting the TV time. The crowd, he's over already. I don't know what more he needs to do on his part, but this is the perfect time to go ahead and thrust Kevin Owens into a situation where either A, he's moving to Monday Night Raw to help with that scene over there, because that's pretty dry, or he needs to bring some little bit more excitement back to the Intercontinental title scene. Now, SummerSlam is ready to start, man. I just want to go ahead and talk to y'all real quick about what's going on in the SmackDown landscape, where I see things going, who I think need to win, who I think need to lose. The kickoff show is ready to start right now. So, NYG is ready to pull up. I'm ready to get the camera set up so we can go ahead and knock out AEW Rampage and AEW Dynamite real big news. I know everybody happy and excited about what we're doing over the Friday night, and we have to go ahead and we have to review SummerSlam. So we got a lot to do. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything set up, and I'll actually be back with you guys in probably a couple of hours. So we got a lot of content that we're pumping out to you guys as we trying to catch up and trying to get back to where we were before things got really, really busy. But I would love to know your SummerSlam predictions and what do you think is going to happen on the Smackdown side of things. Do you think Roman Reigns will retain his title against John Cena? I gotta give it to Reigns. Do you think that the women tag team championships? What do you think about that? Do you think it's time for Natalya and Tamina to go ahead and drop them titles and kind of go their own separate way? I think Natalya can go ahead and jump right back into that singles competition. I think that would help a little bit as well. What do you guys think about Seth Rollins and the Edge? Excuse me. Depending on who wins, where do they go next? If Edge lose, is he done? Does he leave? Does he go back home? If Seth Rollins lose, what's next for Rollins, man? Like, yo, you got to get out of this funk, dude. You got to get back to the Rollins we know. We got to get back to burning it down, brother. So let me know what you guys think, man. Hit me in the comments section down below. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. If you aren't, follow us on Instagram because I'll be giving away one of these pops. Ooh, and I got another pop in. Yup, another one. My Stone Cold Steve Austin pop. There we go. I think you can see it a little better. My Stone Cold pop. I'll be giving away, I believe I'll give away a Cody Rhodes during one of these AEW pay-per-views or something like that for somebody to have a chance to win. I think that'll be pretty fun to do. And there's not many of them out there, so that'll be awesome. So let me know your predictions, man. Follow us on Instagram at The Wrestling Replay. That's how you'll know about all our giveaways. That's how you see all our posts. That's how you know what we're going to talk about in the Let's Talk About It segments because we'll post about it during the week. And make sure you definitely like, subscribe, and turn your notifications. So anytime we drop a video, you guys will be the first ones to know that we have dropped a video. And you can go there, click it, you can watch it, you can enjoy it, you can talk to me. And here's in the DMs if you got anything you want to talk about. Right now I got a real interesting conversation going on CM Punk, AEW, WWE, and the type of talent and how they treat their talent. So if you want to jump into the conversation, go over to Instagram. Check out the CM Punk post, and it's right under there. We're having a real interesting conversation. So check that out and join in on it. Let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear everyone else's point of view on everything that's wrestling. All right? I'm Cato. I'm signing out. Ready to go watch this SummerSlam. Peace.